I provide service to many individuals who were injured catastrophically in motor vehicle accidents. Being part of a university setting, I also provide service to individuals with no insurance and minimal insurance as well. So I've seen the difference of what can or cannot be done for these individuals based on what kind of healthcare coverage is available to them. And rather than spend a lot of time about specific points, I want to tell a couple of stories that I think illustrate very well what the impact of this bill will be on individuals if no-fault catastrophic coverage is lost. The first story is a 23-year-old woman, a very attractive young lady who was in the wrong place at the wrong time and had a bullet that damaged her spinal cord at age 18. She's now 23, as I mentioned. She has a substantial sacral decubitus ulcer. That's right at the base of the spine, just above the gluteal cleft. It goes down to the bone. The reason she has this ulcer is because she has inadequate wheelchair positioning and fit of her wheelchair. This was preventable, but because we cannot get her adequate wheelchair equipment through Medicaid, she is now in this predicament. She spends most of her day in bed trying to heal this huge wound. Because it's down to the bone, there's a high risk of the bone becoming infected. If that happens, and 6 weeks of IV antibiotics, which is very expensive, does not resolve the infection, she may be facing what's called a hemipelvectomy. I've had a few individuals who have sustained massive infections and needed the surgery. It literally is cutting off the lower half of the body. The pelvis is taken off. This is a disaster. These people are in and out of the hospital repeatedly and ultimately die young. They have a colon diversion, they have a urinary diversion, they have no ability for intimacy sexually because of the loss of the lower half of their body. Their body image is destroyed, and many of them ultimately become so depressed that I have seen them commit suicide. The second story is of another young person who was involved in a motor vehicle accident and had a traumatic brain injury. He was enrolled in a neurorehabilitation program, was on medications that were working extremely well for him, was progressing through a vocational training program, was in a semi-independent living situation, progressing towards independent living and employment. Because of some issues of coverage with his no-fault carrier, his attorney filed a lawsuit against the no-fault carrier. Immediately, his coverage was terminated. He was discharged from his neurorehabilitation program. He no longer had coverage for his medications. He did not have the personal resources to afford those medications. He applied for Medicaid to try to at least be able to get meds. He discovered that Medicaid is not processing applications at this point in time. They have not been doing so since November 2010. He is therefore without insurance. He had to go live with his mother in Midland. He's extremely depressed, has expressed suicidal ideation on several occasions, is not even able to get community mental health services. I'm very concerned that this man will harm himself. These two stories illustrate that without adequate health care, which we currently are able to provide with the current no-fault law, young people will die. This is genocide. If that is what the Michigan legislature chooses to do, I think they need to be aware of the human impact of this bill, which is, in my opinion, unacceptable. I've not even talked about that the morbidity, meaning the frequency of illnesses, is much higher with people on Medicaid, that they spend more time in emergency rooms and hospitals at great expense to the healthcare system, because most of that is unreimbursed service. So there are spin-off effects not even discussed with these stories, but most importantly, as a physician who provides service to all individuals regardless of insurance, it is unconscionable in my mind to pass a bill of this nature, and it really needs to be stopped now. Thank you.